And I'm the Scarving Artist. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, Ravelry, Payhip, and Etsy. All of them, the Scarving Artist. So I'm a knitter, a crocheter, a Tunisian crocheter. I design. I do a little bit of pattern testing. I'm kind of pulling a little bit back from that because I kind of overcommitted and getting back on track now. And then I also am an instructor for crochet and Tunisian crochet. So I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota with my husband and our Fuzz family. Work in a yarn shop and am like working on tech editing and started a little bit of spinning, making stitch markers, doing a lot of things so that I don't have to go back to my corporate job that was making me miserable. So anyways, what is this? Why are we here? This is, I'm calling it episode 0 of my new podcast, The Unfinished Object. So if you don't know what episode 0 means, it's like a session 0 in D&D is the planning session. It's kind of like where you create your character and roll up your stats and you basically like plan everything out and get ready to do the thing. And then you have your session 1. So this is session 0 or like episode 0. And then we'll have episode 1 where we actually start getting into the things that I'm going to be talking about. So this whole thing came about from me deciding one day would be a good idea to start a spreadsheet of all of my whips. And it was crazy. It was like in the 60s. It was overwhelming. And that was a while ago. It was like a year ago or something. So some of those things have been finished. Some of those things have been frogged. Some of those things have been in timeout forever. But I was starting to get to the point where I was getting overwhelmed by my stash, which is hard to admit because I love buying yarn, but also by my desire to like do different projects. Working in a yarn shop, you're talking to people about the projects they're working on. So you're seeing all these beautiful things, learning all these new beautiful color combinations that you may not have thought of before. And you just like squirrel, projects, this, that, I have to start this, So it was getting out of control and I have a lot of stress. I have a lot of anxiety and this was contributing to it for sure. So I wanted to kind of start to get that under control. I've taken a couple of steps to do that, but this is kind of like, I wanted to use this as like holding myself accountable and putting it out there and then like finishing things. Finishing things feels really good. So like, let's finish some things together. I also I'll be doing tutorials. So if you have any questions about crochet or Tunisian crochet, put them in the comments or DM me and I would be more than happy to talk about those in future episodes. And then finished objects, I'll show those off. We'll talk a little bit about books. We'll talk a little bit about acquisitions. They're less these days, but here and there are a few things to share. And then also, so in Minneapolis, in the Twin Cities in general, there is a huge fiber community and it's really, really good. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of shops. There's a lot of really good shops. There's a lot of really good yarn dyers. There's a lot of like fiber events. It's just awesome. And I want to share that with all of you as well. So that's what we're doing here. Whips, tutorials, finished objects, talk about books, probably talk about pets. I used to work in the pet industry. I taught, like I was a territory manager, and I also taught people about dog and cat nutrition. So any of those things that you want to talk about, or if you want to talk about like anxiety, I have a lot of that. could talk about that. We could talk about whatever. But anyway, so that's kind of this is the planning session. This is just me telling you what's going on, what to expect. And I hope that you'll join me on this journey. I think it's going to be really fun. And here and there we will have, I'll have some fiber friends come in and chat with me about whatever we decide to talk about that day. But there'll definitely be some kind of, crafting going on during that. One of the things that I will put out there today, before we end this episode 0, is the local fiber community thing. I am putting together a fiber festival. I'm so excited about it. I hope that you guys will be excited about it too. It's called Crafters Gonna Craft. It's going to take place at Broken Clock Brewing Cooperative in Northeast Minneapolis. And the space is really cool. It's just like a huge open space. There will be vendors. There will be workshops that you can take. There's food. There's beverages, adult and otherwise. And it's just like a really fun spot to hang out and craft. So that's kind of what we're hoping for when we're planning this, is like you'll come, shop, maybe take a class, but then just spend the day. Like there's a coffee place, there's later on in the day there'll be food and drinks, so that's going to be on March 2nd. It's called Crafters Gonna Craft, and I do have an Instagram page for that. I'm just starting to announce all the vendors. I'm so excited about that. I got some really good vendors. But we want to create a space for the fiber community to hang out. And so I hope that you'll put that on your calendar and join us March 2nd. It's going to be from 10 to 6. Shopping, workshops. Website is either being published this evening or tomorrow. So it will be up, and we will be adding things as we get them, set. So yeah, that's that. Thanks so much for watching and listening. And if I can answer any questions, let me know. Put things in the comments. We'll start all the things soon. Oh, the when. I named this the what and the when. So that's all the what's. The when, I'm going to commit to once a month. I want to do this way more than that. I want to be doing this at least every other week, but maybe once a week. But I don't know if I have the bandwidth to do that at this time. So I'm committing to once a month, and there may be more episodes than that. Hopefully there will be. I'd rather, do the undercommit and overproduce than the opposite. So, yeah, that's it. Would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and like this video, and then join me in future ones. Thanks.